Hello and welcome to this week's episode of OakieVision. My name is Ryan Barnett, Sports Information Director here at Menlo College. And my guest this week is Menlo College's Director of Wrestling and Head Men's Wrestling Coach, Coach Joey Martinez. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely excited to have you on, Coach. Let's dive right on into the interview. Starting off with, talking a little bit about your team's success this past season. Of course, men's wrestling, one of the winter sports here at Menlo that was able to complete their season all the way through their national championship. And boy, oh boy, what a season it was. Your Oaks finishing second at the NAIA national tournament behind only 8-time national champions Grandview. You had 2 individual national champions, Anthony Orozco and Blason Terrakina. Your team just continues, it seems, not just to plateau, but to get better and better every season. And you've been at the helm of this program now for 11 years at Menlo College. What does that mean to you as a head coach to see your athletes, giving it right back to you and putting in that work to improve and get better every season?
Well, it's the effort and the commitment and dedication that they have, is to them. They do a great job. We provide a lot of things here for them to be successful, but at the end of the day, they have to commit themselves and believe in the program and what direction we're going into. And they do, and it shows. We have quality athletes. They work hard. They're good people. I can't say too much. I can't say enough about them. But they continue to grow, as a group and as individuals, and that's why we're successful. We have people that are in the program that just feed off each other, and they're always wanting more.
Yeah, and we see that on display, every year, year in, year out. It's been incredible to watch, your teams compete here at Menlo. Of course, this year, a perfect dual season. You get your first win at home all time against San Francisco State. So we see that as well. We see the effort that your student athletes put in both on the mats and around campus and in the classroom as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, I do have to ask, and I'm sure many wrestling programs have asked themselves this before, but you guys, national runner-ups this year. What's the next step you guys have to take to shock Grandview, so to speak, and bring home that national championship banner?
Honestly, I think we're doing everything the right way. It's just a matter of time, and I think time is on our side, and it's going to happen. So we have a lot of pieces in place with the coaching staff, with the wrestlers, with the program and what direction we're going. And, I think that if we keep building on what we're doing and we have a strong foundation, we're going to get there. So I'm happy with the success we've had. I'm happy with the direction that we're going. And I feel like it's going to happen sooner rather than later.
We're really excited to hear that, Coach. And, the buzz around your program throughout campus is feeling the same way. We know it's only a matter of time, and we're really excited and right here following along, here at Menlo College Athletics. Now, last season, on top of the many accolades athletically that your student athletes took home, your team also took home the Team Sportsmanship Award at the national tournament. Now, how important to you is that as a coach and the leader of this program, that your student athletes aren't just champions on the mats, but also champions of character and, showing what that means to be a champion of character throughout Menlo College and really the whole NAIA?
It means a lot. Like I said, we have the right people in the program. We have the right coaching staff. We have a lot of things that are going positively in the right direction, and it does mean a lot to me. To win on the mat is important, very important. It means a ton to me. But off the mat and the things that we do with our community service, with our Wednesday wisdom classes, with our character building within the groups and the team leaders and the coaches, everything that is put in place, behind the scenes of what we do, and to earn that award it was special, and it just wasn't this year. We won it 2 years ago. So the last 2 out of 3 years we have been winning that award. So it just shows that we're just not trying to develop people on the mat. We're trying to develop everyone off the mat, so they can be, productive people in society.
Well, you're doing an excellent job of that, Coach. You and your coaching staff, the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, with those awards now, 2 out of the last 3 years taking home that sportsmanship award. We see it as well on our campus community with your student athletes, as we alluded to earlier. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about this upcoming season. Of course, a lot of question marks still around what that's going to look like, but hoping, or in a hopeful mindset, that there is a season next year, or this upcoming year, I should say. Let's chat a little bit about that, starting with your returning athletes. And I think it all starts with your two incredible returning All-Americans, Jacob Mendoza and Riley Siason, both at the 125 weight class. It's incredible to have just one All-American at any given weight class. You had two last year at 125. Can we expect to see Riley and Jacob both competing at 125 again this year, or maybe one of them stepping up, maybe filling the shoes of Blayson at the 133, or maybe, both of them even?
Well, to rewind a little bit, we do have Blazin back. He is a redshirt senior this year. So he is back this year along with Riley and Jacob. But to answer your question, yeah, I see both of them competing, if, depending on what the season looks like. But if, once it happens, those guys are, fiery competitors. They want to win and everything that they do on and off the mat, in the classroom. So yes, every time that I have them in the lineup, every time that, I'm sitting in their chair, I feel like we have a solid chance of repeating of what we're doing. And I feel confident in the work they have been putting in, during this time.
Well, that's great to hear, and even more exciting news about Blayson as well. So, great strength there at the top of the dual lineup, so to speak. Now, of course, you do graduate All-Americans Anthony Orozco and Devin Everett, who were both outstanding last season and throughout their careers as Oaks. And then you've got a whole slew of guys that just missed All-American status last year. I mean, names come to mind like Alex Garcia, Eric Reyes, Afton Silvis, Elias Kennerid, Jordan Bernal, just to name a few. So what do you see these guys, the next steps they take so that they can get their names amongst the ranks of All-Americans that have wrestled here at Menlo College?
I think that, we have a strong group coming back. We have 7 national qualifiers back. We have 3 All-Americans and a national champ. So our core group of guys back is really strong. They have a great chance. Again, it's not something that they pick up, every season and say, okay, let's go. They're training, and we're doing a lot of things year round, especially in the off season, to prepare for ourselves for this upcoming year. They're on track. I talk to them frequently. We run things by each other, but they're ready. I have a confidence in their ability, and I know they're going to do well, depending what the season looks like. So I feel comfortable with us walking into whatever situation is going to happen this year and being ready to go with those guys.
All right. Well, we're excited to see these guys back in action. We've come accustomed to seeing them dominate on the mats inside Haynes-Spring Pavilion. But let's chat about your new group of incoming recruits for this season. You've got a whole slew of student athletes coming in, freshmen and transfers, just about spanning every weight class. Who of these guys do you see stepping up immediately? Sometimes there are guys, especially you think the freshmen, who are going to take some time to be mentored, but who do you see stepping up immediately and competing, if not all of these guys who may be ready to go when the season is ready to go?
Yeah. We had a pretty big group of a pretty recruiting class big that this year, we brought in. So it's, to name a couple would be disservice to everybody. I feel like every one of them has potential to contribute to what we've been doing. We also, I had a big group of guys that I redshirted last year that didn't really compete, or they competed under the radar. So the combination of, the 5 or 6 guys I redshirted with the combination of the solid class that I brought in, I feel like everyone has an opportunity to do well. And, you know, from top to bottom, we're pretty solid. We don't really have any holes. We have a strong team. We did lose, some key seniors last year that are going to be hard to replace. But again, I think the way that we have built things around here, that when the good ones leave like that, there's always people to fill their shoes, if not one, multiple. So the recruiting class is going to be just fine once we get going with everything, and my returners are going to be just fine. So I have confidence in what we're doing. I have confidence in the new guys, even though we have short-lived with our relationship. And my returners, they're the solid foundation, they're the rock of the program. So we're going to be just fine.
Well, even more exciting to hear, Coach. As I keep reiterating, there's such a positive buzz always around your programs. We see what your student athletes can do under your direction and your coaching staff. And just we're really hopeful that once the season gets off and everyone can do that safely, that we get to see you guys in action sooner rather than later. Last question for you, Coach, to round off the interview. I've been able to ask just about every coach I've interviewed this, from sports that are more distanced like golf and cross country to of course Coach Barang a couple weeks ago, and now you with wrestling. Wrestling, a sport that it may be difficult to get some reps in practicing with social distancing, of course, two athletes in very close proximity. What have been some of the unique ways you've seen some of your student athletes staying ready to hit the mats and compete whenever they get the go call? That's been sort of a recurring theme, is everyone just being ready for whenever we do get that call.
Well, the guys have been super creative, and we've had them send videos in, and we talk about what their workouts are. So yeah, some of the guys been, using the streets, meaning they've been running and wrestling in the streets. Some guys are sending me pictures of pushing trucks and cars up a hill, working with tires, anything on the track. So they just been super creative. Some of them actually have wrestling mats in their garage, which is great. They've been, showing some technique and what they've been doing outside. So, that's, that shows what kind of program we are. We have an obstacle in front of us. We don't stop. We figure out how to get around it for the time being, or for whatever the time is, and then we work through things. So again, I'm excited about when we get to come back. Whatever the season may look like, we will be ready. I have full confidence in that.
Well, Coach, it sounds like you're ready. Your student athletes are ready, and speaking on behalf of the Menlo College Athletics supporters and fans, I think we're ready to see you guys hit the mats too whenever it is deemed that is safe in this situation. Coach, I want to thank you so much for your time and for joining me this week on OakieVision.
Thank you. One real quick thing I want to say is that, I want to send a special thanks to everybody that's been supporting us from afar, on social media, whether I see them in person, or they call on the phone, or see text. Our coaching staff, our managers, our fans, our family, our friends, everyone that has been through with us through everything. I appreciate everybody, and I just want to let everyone know we will be back and be ready to go once this opens up.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. And, there's another pillar that we are happy to support here at Menlo amongst the champions of character: gratitude. And we are grateful for you, the Menlo faithful out there watching and staying tuned. And we'll do our best to keep your finger on the pulse of everything here at Menlo College Athletics. Thank you again, Coach. Thanks, fans, for tuning in, and go Oaks.